Now moving, still cheating players up towards A, but they want to go B in the end here. They've spotted out one player on each side of the map. Committing down mid now instead.
And now we see K already very low, even about half HP as well. And it is going to be Boss just making the decision to just force their way up onto the A bomb site now. Even finds the opener, but TF goes down instantly. Even has to hold this off all by himself. Otherwise, Boss should surely be looking at another round on the board here. Lucas already hopping into the A window. The bomb going to be going down. He had a shot onto Shady, but Kale takes it away from him. And it's going to be K left in a 1v3. And Boss looking at a pretty incredible start to this match.
Absolutely, showing no signs of stopping here on their blacklist side. K's already been spotted and tagged down a little bit through the box as well, I believe. Has to get out here, but we'll go for it. Why not? Might as well try and make something of this. And Kale's missing a few shots, so maybe there's a chance, but surely there's no way that K can get back into this. He's found that first frag, but two more, I think, is too much to ask for anyone right now. Sneaking around, trying to find an angle, gets the spot onto one, tries to jump up, but there's no time left on this bomb. They've done enough, and in the end, it's Shady who will grab the final frag, shutting it down. And Boss, so far undefeated, starting out very, very well here against All Gamers. 4-0. One more, they'll have won the half, and they're showing no signs of stopping.
And again, All Gamers, they haven't decided to play passive yet, but every time they get aggressive here, they just get punished. And again, Shady, he's there to punish. Two big headshots through the edge of the smoke, and again, the aggressive plays from All Gamers, they're just not working out. And All Gamers, they need to realize that they need to play passive at this point, because Boss, they are just ready to counter every aggressive play that AG has thrown their way. And now they find themselves in an early 3-on-5 and potentially already halfway to a loss.
Very possible at this point. Okay, we'll grab one. He's traded immediately by Lucas. So now in the 4 versus 2. Boss, once again, in the driver's seat in these rounds. Just 2 players left to find. It's TF and TMQ. TF notably not on the board yet. 0 and 4, not having managed to find a frag. Maybe that can change here, but he is essentially solo locking down the A bomb site. And again, Boss are showing that they are very ready to rotate. Basically, as soon as they get any info at all, they're willing to try and put the pressure on elsewhere, try and capitalize on what they know. They're now going in for a mid-take. Bit of a play has been made by TMQ, getting a little bit aggro into B, but just had to fall out of it. And it will be the catwalk play coming in for Boss. Should find themselves the 1 versus 1 here. TF is scoping in on them, but surely he can't get any more than 1 without being traded here. There's just too many players, and now they wait for Boss to push. TF even getting antsy, shoots at a teammate.
Yeah, questionable decision there. It gives their positions away as well. TF gets 1, but a 1v4 surely not in the cards here. Rita trades it out. And just like that, it is a 5-0 start for Boss. I know I predicted 10-5 going into this one, but I don't think that's possible at this point.
Possible.
So, yeah, right now, I mean, Boss, they're doing everything right. AG just underestimated this team, is getting way too aggressive on their global risk side, and they haven't realized that they need to slow it down and just play a little bit safer, but they're still going to keep to this strategy of playing very aggressive map control. But so far, Boss has been great at exploiting it, so they really need to try and change things up and almost go for a full passive hold like we've seen from teams like Pacific Magda, who aren't afraid to just sit back and give up that map control, because right now, Boss, they want that map control to try and come out because they're abusing these picks by letting them push out.
That's the thing with trying to take aggressive map control, especially on a map like this where the rotations can be so fast. For the attacking side, we've already seen Boss change their mind about which bomb site they're going to 3 times mid-round in some of these rounds. So when the rotations are this fast, the attacking side, if you're getting aggressive on the defensive side, that's fine, but you've got to be able to either get your kill or get out. Especially if you're pushing solo. If you push 2 players, then you get one, go down, and then your teammate can trade you. But if you're going aggressive by yourself, you have to be able to convert the frag that you're given. And so far, it's just been Boss managing to find 2 3v1s when these AG players are getting confident and getting pushy. And so far, it's been working pretty flawlessly for them. Now setting up the bomb out long A, but it will be rotating back over to B by the looks of things, with 3 players getting ready here in the backyard, ready to go. Still just under a minute left for Boss. And this is what I was talking about, how ready they are to rotate based on info they have. And in this case, even no info can be information. This is the first contact they've really had here towards B, but Finding nothing towards long A makes them assume it's going to be a more passive play, and now they go for this B take. Lucas going to find the opener. TMQ sprays down 2, but will get traded back into the 3 versus 3, and the entry is on. The rotations are here from AG, but still the kills being found. Now into a 2 versus 3. This is going to be quite difficult as, oh, great orb shot coming out from TF. Surely this is going to be the first round here for all gamers. It's only Kale left, 1 versus 3, 20 seconds. Not much HP to work with either. Got to go for it, but surely not going to get much done.
He does find one here, and the other's over-rotated off the bomb site. He has to stick the plant, though, instantly, and this is where he should go down.
Should indeed be even, just jumping through the window. It does get the bomb down, so that's something, but not going to make too much of a difference in the end. Finally, all gamers come through with a round. 2 players left alive as well, so it's pretty good for them. They did call out the rotation from Boss. They did manage to get the stack onto that B site early enough where they could shut down that hit. But we'll see now if Boss are going to get straight back into things and get another round on the board, or if maybe this is the start of that 10-round streak that you need for your prediction to be true, Kyle.
Yeah, it's really a situation where Boss, they've just got to capitalize on this lead they've built. If by some chance AG takes this to a 5-4 half, the confidence they're going to have going into the second half is going to be out of this world. But right now, it's looking like Boss are doing everything right to pull themselves in for yet another round, even though going to be playing close on the B doors here, waiting for Kale to make the mistake of trying to cross. But he peeks again too early, waiting for the cross. The patience just isn't there for all gamers right now, and they're going to be punished for it. Rida almost finds himself one, but ZQ takes him down. But as that happens, TF is taken down, and ZQ is lit up just to a sliver of health here. 3-on-1. Not a likely situation here on a retake like that to make happen, and it should be another round here for Boss.
Answering back immediately. He's now been spotted out as well. Kale's just getting a few bullets through, pre-firing away, and there's Lucas with the eventual kill. So this is what I was talking about just in that round before there, that if you're going to push, you've got to be able to land your frag. They did, AG did commit 2 players to that initial peak, and while they did get 1 trade, because their first player in went down without getting anything done, that means the best they could do was a trade, and immediately, of course, Boss pounced on that second player, made it a 4 versus 3 and rolled through from there. So lots of heavy utility presence, heavy grenades in towards B from Boss, trying to force all gamers back if they had gone for any aggression, which they really haven't. Grenade's actually very good in return from all gamers, but the trades come through, 2 for 2 immediately. TF is here in the window with the AWM. Looking for an angle if he can find it, but it's an even situation once again, 3v3, and now Boss will look to move.
AG, though, in a situation where they definitely need to win this round to keep themselves alive in this map. Even starts it off right here, finds Rida there. It's going to be a 2-on-3. HP definitely heavily in their favor here as well. Ollie there just down to less than 10 HP. Lucas, the only one really able to make a large impact in this round, but he's sitting at a score of 9-2, so definitely one of the players who has been able to make things happen in the later portions of these rounds. But against 3 AG players on a retake, it's definitely going to be difficult, but they do get the bomb planted without too much contest here from these remaining defenders. So it is going to be a full retake here for AG, but they're just going to be setting up to pinch this perfectly. They don't want any hint of error here, but again, we're going to see a cheeky little play here from Ali. He's going to be playing in the water here. He lets them walk up past him, and this is a brilliant read. He knows he's at a disadvantage, has to open it up, but Lucas, he's got to stay alive here, and it's just not going to happen. But he's going to play for the bomb defusal. This is perfect timing if he gets the shot, but even saves it at the last moment, and I thought he might have had a chance to pull that off there. I saw what they were going for, but in the end, AG, they pull through, but that's a much-needed round for them. It's still going to be 6-2 as we go into the final round here of our first half.
And that was very nearly a win for Boss there as well. If they didn't turn around and check Ali, then he was going to have a line straight through onto that bomb plant. All he would have needed was 1 AWM shot to let the fuse out. Even if he gets inevitably traded, he still would have done enough. There just wasn't the time for a second defuse attempt at the first one and gone down. And again, Shady's managed to find a pick early on out here towards A along. It's not the first time this has happened, and once again, Boss going to open things up, make it into a 5 versus 4. And we'll have to see what the adjustment's going to be from all gamers. In previous rounds, it's been 2 players pushing up through short, trying to get that trades. Not really an option here, though, 4v5. You've either got to gamble on stacking 3 players or even 4 players on one bomb site, or go for a 2-2 split. And instead, all gamers have done neither of the things that I just said, and they're going to go 3 players in towards mid, leaving the AWM alone to hold A.
Yeah, and they seem to unfortunately make this decision time and time again. They leave that alone, and that tends to be who goes down next in this situation. So they definitely have to be careful here. We are going to see TMQ falling off to the B bomb side as well. So all of these players, aside from K on Cat here with Even, are fairly spread out here at this point. TMQ just sort of playing for the support here from mid now. He's going to group up, but still, they're going to be forcing towards the bomb side. It's kind of questionable to have all three players stacked up here towards mid. It's going to leave basically this A execution out along. It's going to be all on TF here. If he doesn't frag out, it's going to be a 7-2 half here for Boss, and he's going to get it at least maybe 2 out of this one. He's going to need to really hold on here, if not more than that.
Absolutely. 2 kills is what he needs here to make it doable for his teammates. As soon as they hear this happen, they can start to push out of mid or go straight back up short or coming through spawns. They do have quick rotates available to them, potentially quick flanks, but there's also the flank of Ali over towards B. And in fact, he's called that rotation now that he's got out onto B a little way and not heard anything. But will they be caught out here? There's a player waiting for them. It's Even who might just catch them out, but the entries come through into mid, and Even has a lot of work to do here. We'll get the 1. They don't expect him. He grabs 2, actually, doing the work. 16 seconds left. TMQ comes in as well. 2 versus 3. Not much time at all for this bomb to go down. This is a very difficult round now, and all gamers will clean it up. TMQ will come through, make it a 6-3 half.
So definitely a little bit better than it started off for AG to end it with at least 3 on the board, but honestly, a very unexpected first half. I knew Boss would put up a fight, but honestly, a 6-3 half is just a very strong performance from them. They still have a lot of work left to be done if they want to close out this match against AG, but they've definitely shown us a very strong team to start it off.
They have indeed. That was a great start from them on their attacking side. Now moving on to the defense, you did see just there how difficult it can be for the defensive side if you're going for these aggressive plays and not managing to land the shots. And that was really what went wrong for All Gamers a lot of times here. Like that last round was entirely won off the back of a defensive play. The fact they sneak Even all the way into the backyard there. He manages to catch out the rotation from Boss, as they were doing multiple times in those rounds. They'd go straight over the other bomb side. It didn't go well for them. He did catch them out, but the difference was when they went for a lot of their aggressive plays, they just lost people immediately. So we'll see if that's going to be a factor here for Boss. If they do go for these aggressive plays and start losing players untraded, then maybe All Gamers kind of similar half, and that's already a great start as Lucas falls.
We're going to see AG on their much more comfortable half here as well. Again, Black Widow, a map where the Blacklist side is always in control here. So All Gamers, this is definitely still a map that they could win back here. They just have to step it up after a very tough defensive half for themselves. But definitely a nice way to get this one started. Lucas is already down, and K in a position to where he could potentially grab more if they go for this peek out of Cat. He finds himself.
Will not hit him. This is 1 kill. Can't quite get another, but at least he's done what he has to. Managed to keep this one. Not quite, but the defensive side in a very difficult position. Kale very, very low. Ritter has to be the playmaker here on full HP, but a 2 versus 3. All Gamers on their attacking side here. Starting off very, very well indeed. They've got the A-bomb side all but locked down. Kale spinning in up the catwalk now, gets spotted by players on that bomb site. The rotation for Ritter is quite long. As I mentioned, Kale is low, so this is a difficult retake, but doable for Boss.
And Boss, they're just going to be taking their time here as well to try and find the opening. ZQ knows one's on Cat. He's going to take him down, and then Ritter easily going to fall to TF there. And All Gamers, a bit of yellow of confidence there to basically let them know that the intimidation is still real. They're not afraid to step it up here in the second half and potentially take this one away from Boss. And with only a 2-round lead now, Boss, they still have to be careful if they want to close this one out.
Heavy nade stacking towards A-long, but will not yield anything despite 3 players being present. Ali looking to line up a grenade, most likely a pop flash around this corner. ZQ going over the top and does take some bullets, doesn't get spotted. There's the flashbang. The peak has to come in now, but Kale's been blinded by it as well. Nonetheless, Lucas gets involved, and there's about to be a heck of a skirmish here. The flash plays continue, but the kills are not yet being found. And in the end, will be ZQ coming out, who grabs that kill onto Kale. It's 4 versus 4. The majority of these players all in the same part of the map, but now All Gamers do have a chance to slow this down if they want to and rotate, but they're continuing with this pressure, walking up A-long. The smoke bring there to get them across, and almost TMQ finds the timing, but the play has to be from Cat, and Lucas is lined up. 3, he's looking to get all 4, and he will do it. Shuts them down on the cross by himself, and that's a much-needed round for Boss.
Definitely a big play there from Lucas to shut it down, but it all started with AG just missing shots there on that execution. They had an open opportunity to hit a couple shots there and take down some of those players on the A-bomb site, but unfortunately they let it slip away, and now Boss, they're going to be up 7-4 in a great position to potentially close this one out if they can keep momentum on their side. However, starting off this round, we are going to see some early pressure coming into mid. Got a couple players on catwalk pushing up, but meanwhile, we see TMQ already going down towards the B-bomb site. Again, Shady being a strong entry fragger for this team, even into the second half now, as he finds the first frag here.
Even entry fragging on the defense. It's not something you see every day, but he's making it work. And Boss now just 3 rounds away from taking this one. Started this round off the right way as well with that first pick for All Gamers. Pressure into mid, a little bit out long as well, just trying to find out perhaps someone from Boss who isn't looking the right direction, but now that they've got that first kill, Boss can afford to fall back, play a bit more of a passive setup, and wait for the play to be made, and the play is made. Goodness me, he even finds himself 2. Running up short, ZQ finds 1 as well, and just like that, from a 5v4 to a 4v2, disadvantage heavily now for Boss, getting overrun on this A-bomb side. It's just Shady and Ritter left.
Now it's going to be all about the retake here. Shady and Ritta looking for some sort of opportunity to sneak in, but Shady's already been spotted by Even here. But he actually gets the reaction shot there, goes for the repeak, and takes him down. ZQ is very low on 15 HP as well. This makes it a very winnable situation now for Boss if they decide to go in quickly here. Looks like that's exactly what they're going to do, but it's not going to matter. TF finds the first, and K finds the second there, and the retake gets shut down. AG, again, put another one up on the board, but they are still down by 2, but definitely looking a lot more confident here in the second half.
It was very nearly a thing, very nearly a 1 round there for Boss once they had that first frag. If those exchanges on short had gone the other way, then this would be a very different story, but they lose 3 players in the space of as many seconds. That's not the way that you want things to be going if you are on that global risk side. He's going to go for the boosted peek out around long once again, try and catch out these players watching for this, but no one's really directly watching long. Lucas is playing more of a passive angle on it, and Boss instead choosing to go for some mid control. A couple players up short, and even rotating 1 more player into mid now. A lot of emphasis there for them. And Ritter getting a little bit aggressive onto B, holding down that info. And there's indeed the mid take coming in for All Gamers. This could work out very well for Boss with their 3-player stack.
We did see last round, though, a 3-man stack on Cat did not work in their favor. And again, we see AG, they get the best of that exchange in a 3-for-2 trade out. Shady, though, almost spotted here in mid. If he goes for the repeat again, he's going to go down. TF finds him there with a nice scope shot down onto mid. Now it's Ritter left in a 1v3. That's just not going to happen. And this is the AG you have to be scared of. You can tell the hype is there. They've got 3 rounds now for themselves this second half. And that's going to make it just a 1-round game now.
Boss did so well on their attacking side, but AG are doing equally as well, in fact. And it's a similar thing for both sides that's causing them to lose these rounds. For AG, it was when they were pushing, their crossfires weren't working, they were getting picked apart. And in this case, Boss aren't even really going for pushes. They're going for more aggressive positions, certainly, but they're not actively pushing in, yet still, as soon as AG run into them, they're able to win these really equal gunfights. What are essentially 3 versus 3s. Coming out on top of, going 3-for-2, or 2-for-3, I guess, talking about death, so they do well. Let's see if Boss can come back into things here. They do need just the 3 more rounds, but the lead they held at the start of this half is all but evaporated now. AG now only 1 behind, looking to make it an even game here. Let's see if they're able to do it, though. Moving into this round, a minute and a half left.
Right now, AG, they're just trying to read this setup. There's a pretty large stack of players towards A once again, but AG, they haven't been fearless at all at pushing into it. This time, it's going to be a shutdown finally going the way of Boss, but just as I say that, ZQ, he turns it around, finds 2 of his own, and it's going to be an even 3-on-3 now. ZQ spots another. Could he get the 3rd frag on the board? He almost is able to do it. Shady just running out with his life there. Ritta goes for the repeat as well. He's lit, but ZQ, he can't secure his 3rd kill. He's trying so hard here to find it, but unfortunately, Boss, they just won't give it up to him, but still. The bomb is on Cat. ZQ finally gets that 3rd frag on the board. Shady low as well. And ZQ, all he has to do is stay alive here and wait for his team to rotate in on the response. But TF, he has a chance to spot Shady back, turn A long. He has no idea. Doesn't even check that position, and it's going to be a 1-on-2 for Lucas now as AG look to tie it.
Does have control of that bomb and does get the one frag, but it's immediately traded out. And once again, All Gamers getting up, getting excited, and really taking it to Boss here so far. Boss have won just one round this half. Meanwhile, AG have taken 4. We did see a very similar start from Boss, but the problem is they started that way. All Gamers are looking to finish that way. And it's just 3 rounds away for either team now, but nonetheless, the momentum certainly with All Gamers here. They're definitely looking better. Going for a bit of a split setup through B and into mid, and there's a lot of players heading down towards that mid position and an aggressive long hold from Boss. So they're changing things up here. You see you can find the kills though as the push comes out in the mid. There is this crossfire and it needs to work, but so far one player's gone down. 2 kills for K in fact, and that is Ritter caught out with utility in hand. You can't be making those sorts of mistakes. The attacking side more than happy to capitalize on them, and it's 5 players alive for All Gamers. Boss just 2. The A-long aggressive holders now need to rotate over and try and make a 2 versus 5 work for them.
And again, we see K in a great position here in mid. Finds himself his 3rd kill of the round as well. Lucas finally able to trade it out, but still a 1v5, almost impossible at this point. He grabs 2, but Lucas is there to shut things down.
That's going to be All Gamers in the lead now for the first time, and it's starting to look like Boss just didn't do enough on their attacking side as well as they started out. Unfortunately, AG are giving even better than they got now that they've moved on to this blacklist side. And Ritter 0 and 5 having a very rough start to the half, but no one really fragging that well outside of Lucas. So it's going to be very, very tough now for Boss to get back into things here. Of course, every round is another one they can possibly turn around, but it's the contact play out A-long. 4 players walking up, and there's a 4-man stack here. This could work out. This could be the first round here for the Global Risk players on Boss. They're certainly in position for it. They've gone for the lucky stack, and it's worked out. They've got 4 kills now. Just 1 remaining. It's all on TMQ going out through mid doors. Surely not too much that he's able to make work. He does spot out 1, but gives up his position in the same shot. Now we'll go for a sneaky play. Ali spots him. Grenade out to follow as well. Very difficult now for TMQ. He shot through him. I actually find the 1 frag here, but surely there's not much you can do. This 1v4, the bomb very much in control of Boss. They'll need to really overcommit here to give this last player, TMQ, much of a chance of anything. And this 1-on-4 should not be happening, Kyle.
Definitely not, but we do see them rotating a little bit off. They realized that they didn't want to go for the challenge here, and they're going to make the smart decision of playing for that bomb's position. They know that TMQ has to go for it if he wants to win this round. And I definitely like the way that they decided to back up their Boss. Knows how crucial this round is to their success, and they're going to be playing it very smart here, not giving up TMQ opportunities to take on these 1v1 aim duels. However, they need to be careful. TMQ going for the sneak play up cat. It's going to give him the opportunity to catch at least one of these players alone before he has to challenge these 3 over towards A-long. Still, though, only 30 seconds to make this happen. TMQ is running this clock down and running out his time of opportunity here, but nice position from Ally there on the back of ramp. Just going to be playing behind this little divot, waiting for someone to peek out. He's just going to be playing it patiently, but he doesn't even need to be patient there because Shady, he's already sealed the deal, and it's going to be tied up at 8.
And not a moment too soon, Boss coming to this with their 2nd win on that defensive side. As we've said, it is the harder side on this map, and these teams have certainly showed us that, both being very dominant on their blacklist side. But Boss now, they keep this one even. They get their 2nd win. 1 more, and they'll have equaled what All Gamers managed to get, but they need to do better than that. They need to take 1 more round. Once they've got that one, or else we're looking at overtime potentially again here for the 2nd time today in just 3 maps. Maybe not that early to call just yet, but in the meantime, it is a B play coming out from All Gamers. 4 players grouped up over there, and just 1 over towards A-long, looking to make a bit of space. Maybe find a frag, maybe find some info. At best, pull a rotation off so that the B take is easier. That's ideally what you want here. If that long player could have gotten 1 frag there, pulled either the player out of mid or one of the players off B off, then maybe it'd be weaker, but it hasn't happened, and here comes the full B execute, flashes and grenades in, smokes to follow, and Ritter's going to get overrun entirely. Lucas and Shady, though, answer back with 2 very, very quickly, and Shady under a lot of pressure here, tapping away. Can't quite convert another kill, but will get it done. Now down into a 2 versus 3 as Lucas chimes in once again. DF and Even left alone. towards this bomb side. Kale not quite able to find this frag just yet. It's a long and drawn out engagement, but 2 frags come in very, very quickly, and now Ali rotating in, left in the 1 versus 2.
Now another difficult situation for Boss to be in. They had the 3-on-2, but again, even in TF turned it around, but now he's going to be caught sneaking under there by TF, and AG now are just 1 round away from closing this off. But honestly, no matter how much Lucas has stepped up, we can't ignore the fact that Rida, he has not been able to stall any pushes on this map. Sitting at 0 and 6 has been such a detriment to his team. And unfortunately, we'll see if he can bounce back. Otherwise, this could be the end from what started as a huge lead for Boss.
I think no matter how this goes, they've still had a good showing here up against one of the favorites in this event, but it still could have been better for them. They want to force this into overtime now. They did have themselves a good lead at the half and early on in the game. It was 6-3, now it's 8-9 in their, and not in their favor, I should say. And Ritter, as you mentioned, certainly having a tough time on the defensive side. 0 and 6 now. Last chance coming in, unless overtime comes up for him to actually get on the board here, get involved. So, see if Boss are able to do it, if they're able to grab themselves this 9th round that they need. The 18th of the game and forces into our second overtime of the day. But in the meantime, Boss going, or AG, I should say, going for a short play. There's 3 players stacked up on A to deal with it, but here comes the first fight. Tim Q running straight in front. The first frag. Shady able to trade, but only the 1, and Kale's going to get overrun on the bomb site. It's a 2 versus 4.
And now this is everything AG wanted here. In order to close this one out, all they have is 2 players standing in their way, one of which is Rida, and now it's just on the man with 0 frags to try and make it happen, but it's just not going to. Manages 1, but AG, they take the map 10-8. Not quite as much of a dominant win as AG as I would have expected, but still, they're able to step up to the plate, and they still pull this one off.
Exactly, they get the win off, and that's what really matters for them. Boss, I feel like they had a pretty good showing there on the first half. They did manage to get a few rounds happening in the second half, but not enough, unfortunately, for them. They did get overrun by all gamers in the end. That is the result we expected, maybe not that close, so decent showing, but still, all gamers will get the win. We're the first Chinese team to grab one today.
And now really it's going to be teams just working their way out of however their first round situation played out. We now have every team with a record though on the board here. That's our first 3 games now completed. And now the next 3 become that much more important for our 3 teams we saw now falling 2-0 and 1. Most notable, obviously, Q9, who we didn't expect to fall in their first match. They got upset by Black Dragons, but all gamers, to be fair, they did win, but it was much, much closer than we expected here.
It was, and that's really been the story of the day. But, all of our games have been a lot closer than we expected, except for Game 2, which, of course, you nailed your prediction on that perfectly through the round. But other than that, we certainly didn't expect that one to be so close between All Gamers and Boss. And the first game, we expected Q9 to get away with, like you predicted, a 10-8. We thought it would be close. We thought Q9 would take it. And in the end, it was Black Dragons taking it in overtime of all things. So all of our games today have been pretty close. But with the conclusion of that game, we're now done with our first, I guess, round of games. We've seen every single team play once on this stage. And now we're going to begin the round robin of all of these teams mixing and matching so we get through the rest of our games. We've done 3 games now, and we have 8 to go today.
Yeah, definitely a lot of great performances so far. Obviously, if we look at round for round, Pacific, they had the most dominating performance out of every team so far. However, I don't think that's necessarily going to hold to be true against every team they play. They played against Carbon, who just had one really bad half that let that score slip away from them. But looking ahead, Pacific obviously in a great position now, 1-0. But keeping in mind their next matchup is Q9. You have to take that with a grain of salt here because Q9, even though they fell to Black Dragons, if they can get things to go their way, maybe even go for a veto on sub base, they could be coming out with a confident first win for themselves here in our next matchup.
Exactly. They're not a team at all that we can count out. So that'll be an interesting one, I think, going into this. Q9, at the start of the day, we certainly would have thought would be able to win the majority of the games they've played, but perhaps a bit of doubt cast over that with that first overtime loss. And coming up against Pacific Macro, who did have, as you said, quite a comfortable win over Carbon. In the end, I mean, the first half was very tightly contested, but on that attacking side, there wasn't much that Carbon could get done, unfortunately, and Pacific Macro did run away with it. So, had to see how that one does go here up against Q9. I think it will depend on the map a little bit, but of course, we won't know that until we get into the veto.
Yeah, overall, great matches so far, and we still have I believe 8 more as well coming your way to round out our day and really see where teams are going to be as we go into our day 2 and potentially who's going to move on to that all-important bracket stage. But guys, we are going to throw it to a break here, and we will be back with Q9 versus Pacific Magda coming up next.
忘不掉的是初心。
奥运健儿再次夺得1枚金牌。
梦想不分大小。从来不懂放弃。只为这一刻，因为初心，才有梦想。为梦想坚持，抵达荣耀之巅。
年轻就绝不服输，我们是。
关身份，无关性别，无关分数高低，无关内敛还是耀眼，无关体重，无关收入多少，无关命运、选择、前途、希望。这只关系到每一次，当你准备战斗，等待最后的读秒，你是谁？
别给我说到低调，我根本听不到。想跟我讲什么战术走位，你最好先追上我。
盲狙、甩狙除了反应，还需要天赋。
感觉来了，枪枪都是黄金爆头。
节奏加距离，我用刀可以飘翻全场。
Double kill, multi kill, ultra kill。
在我的世界里，
做不了最好的，
就做最屌的。
穿越火线，不服来战。
This feels familiar, I've been here before. A different face walking through the same door. Thought it'd get easy, but it just hurts more every time. The way I see it, nothing ever ends. Like a circle, something new begins. And now I turn my back into the wind and carry on. I know you're gone. I had to walk away, and now it's broken, it's the price I paid. But it was worth it, now I can say your name without falling apart. We always end up at the start. Scary what you can't define. We're just a temporary place in time. We're pushing forward and we can't rewind, but that's alright. It's how we survive. I had to walk away. Now it's broken, it's the price I paid. But it was worth it, now I can say your name without falling apart. We always end up at the start. And I know, feels like it's always changing. I know, it's life just rearranging. Build it up, tear it down, all the walls and hurdles. We're running in circles. I had to walk away, and I was broken, it's the price I paid. But it was worth it, now I can say your name without falling apart. We always end up at the start. This feels feels familiar, I've been here before. A different face walking through the same door. Thought it'd get easy, but it just hurts more every time. The way I see it, nothing ever ends. Like a circle, something new begins. And now I turn my back into the wind and carry on. I know you're gone. I had to walk away, and now it's broken, it's the price I paid. But it was worth it, now I can say your name without falling apart. We always end up at the start. Scary what you can't define. We're just a temporary place in time. We're pushing forward and we can't rewind, but that's alright. It's how we survive. I had to walk away. Now it's broken, it's the price I paid. But it was worth it, now I can say your name without falling apart. We always end up at the start. And I know, feels like it's always changing. I know, it's life just rearranging. Build it up, tear it down, all the walls and hurdles. We're running in circles. I had to walk away, and I was broken, it's the price